304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an STSPOD.club production. And this is wait, I think I did didn't I? Like charge. Yeah, this is WTF What the Fuck News Desk. Man, dude, I have such a good time recording these, and I listened to an old one from last year, and it was me and you, but damn, we're funny, man. We're just really funny. So,
do I get an intro here in the Duke's Bowl Studios?
I do got an intro. I just started talking, you know. All right, here we go.
Let's go.
Here we go. I'm BT, and here is from the home of Obama, Bill Murray. And the WNBA champions, that's ladies champions, Chicago Sky. He is the snark of excellence, my partner in crime, Lance LeVine. There we go, Lance. I'm sorry.
There we go. Yeah. It's more like it, right? We're right here in the Duke's Mayo Bowl Studios in Chicago because, you know, it's bowl season, bowl buckshot. You got to watch for that.
What, bowls? Oh, I don't.
Bowl, I don't like college football.
You know, I seen this guy on Twitter making fun of all the bowl games and jokes.
It's so ridiculous.
It was boring. It was silly. Yeah.
There's like 75 bowl games. There's not even enough college football teams to support all that nonsense.
Well, when Arkansas State goes every year, something's wrong. So
and
yeah,
like
that's
1
my
in
team.
10.
Yeah,
they're 1 in 10. So
they get it's called money. You know, it's all about the bidding. All right, let's don't get into other sports.
Merry New Year, Brian.
Oh, Merry New Year to you. And I guess because of the New Year, we don't have full stats of how much we were. I think we might have broke a record.
Way up. Yeah.
I think we could have broke a December record. We may have I know we broke December record, but we might have broke overall when it comes to a month. So I'm excited about that. We'll know later on
CDs,
in the month.
Records.
Records. No.
Yeah,
no,
not
no.
CDs. So
but let's talk about, here is the top 3 that was downloaded and listened to that is not part of the Memphis dealio that I do. So number 3 was number 526, Cheap Trick, the Christmas show. Yay, nice. The record store. Number 2 with my old buddy Eric Crow and Rhino JB, it was Dynamite. Winners coming episode 528. And we would like to thank Danhausen for episode number 523. What the fuck? Guys, y'all love listening to this as much as we love doing it. So anybody out there, look, I'm asking you, so we've been using the same theme for like 3 years. If there's somebody out there who wants to record a new, cool, jazzy theme for us, just inbox us. We'll take it. You got to have what the fuck in the theme and all kinds of stuff, but we'll do a new theme if you want to record. And also, Lance, we got to tell everybody what we're doing for the full year of 2022. We're on a mission.
Yep,
a mission. We are going to get money from Mr. Melon. Now, Go ahead and show that. Look,
this is before and after. We got before and after. That's the Brian before and then Brian after. So we have intellectual property claims against the Ferrara Pan
of Mr. Melon. If you're not watching the video version, you can on YouTube. They're all up there.
1908 Candy Company here in Chicago.
We started the case on Monday. Monday, we started the case. And next month on WTF, we'll be giving you an update on our case against Mr. Melon. All right, there we go. Let's get started, man. What the hell are we doing? What are we doing?
WTF News Desk. We're wrapping up the year. It is December. We got all the great news stories from the world of wrestling and MMA in December of 2021. So we are starting where we always do. You know, we teased at number 10. We teased last month that we had a dog food match in December in DDT. But honestly, in reviewing the results, it was kind of boring. So I decided to skip it. So instead, we're sticking with DDT. We've got on December 17th, it's the Rojo Pro Wrestling in Fitness Shop Nagoya Parko Sake card. It is a Falls Count Anywhere tag match that took place in a sporting goods store. So it's the Aichi Fitness Shop. So the match was Yuki Ueno and Mao is all in caps. So it's Mao.
I got a Yuki Ueno.
Yeah, it's Bashville, I heard too. So Yuki Ueno and Mao beating Sanshiro Takagi and Hideki Okatani.
Wow.
So mannequin arms were used as weapons. They brawl out the door, down the hall, into an elevator, into a bathroom. At one point, they were fighting on treadmills, running on treadmills. Let's see. They grabbed blank canvases and started drawing each other randomly, and then broke the canvases over each other's heads. So in the end, Mao won the match, slamming Okatani on a bench press for the pin. So that is our weird stip match. Again, of course, emanating from DDT on December 17th.
Man, that sounded like a normal Saturday night with the mannequin hands and stuff.
The mannequin hands.
At the Tramel house.
Fighting each other. That's right.
Well, fighting, if that's what you want to call it.
I like that they brawled into the bathroom. So wasn't it Dusty Rhodes that said, there's a man in the ladies' bathroom or something?
They always do that. DDT, almost every show, they love to go in the bathroom. And I think Japanese have some kind of toilet humor we don't get. So
yeah, maybe they have unisex bathrooms, I would imagine, there too. Because, Don Shaco Dino. Wait, was that Dwight Schrute?
No,
you're foreshadowing. So, all right, at number 9, we have MMA fighter David Koenig is not deer antlers.
Oh, man.
December 22nd, a man was in the woods in Missouri, possibly the boot heel. I'm not sure. It might have been the boot heel. So the man was searching for deer antlers and comes across human remains instead. So forensics determines that they are the remains of missing MMA fighter David Koenig of Branson, Missouri, who was last seen in 2020. So Branson is in the southwest border of Missouri. So is that the boot heel or no?
No. That's the other side. Yeah. It'll be all the way across. Yeah.
So sadly, police say no foul play was involved. So my question is, what was the guy looking for deer antlers for? Is that like a normal thing in the boot heel?
Dude, I would not know. It might be one of those things where, if the hunter kills the deer, they just leave the antlers and the head out there. Most people mount a head. But if you're a deer hunter, a lot of people, it's one of those things where you kill the deer and you dress the deer right there in the woods. And if I'm wrong about that, guys, correct me, but I believe I'm right. They actually want to do it right there so that, other animals can get stuff that they leave behind. And with the antlers, if they don't take the head to mount it, then you got these guys out there hunting for the ones that they left so that they can do something with them. So sell them, whatever. And then he runs upon a body, that's been there for a while. Remains is pretty much what it was. That's just so sad. Yeah, sad.
So, well, you talked about mounting the head. I figured that's another wild Saturday night at the Tramel residence. So anyway,
talk to the wife about that. Look, our sponsor. Wait, you get the point on your window down by Spunkley. Down by Spunkley. What? Yeah. Hey, they're on board for 2022. Oh,
I need one of those gallons. Can you get me another one of those gallons with the pump? I
just sent you a gallon 2 weeks ago.
No comment.
Oh, my bad.
People are practically drinking the shit over here. I don't know. So, all right, number 8, we got our overflowing crime blotter as always. So we have Anthony Rocco Martin. We've got John Jones, Alberto Del Rio, one of your favorites, and finally Rhea Ripley. So we're starting with Anthony Rocco Martin, 31, former UFC fighter, arrested in Vegas on misdemeanor charges of battery, lewd conduct, and dissolute conduct in public. So I looked up dissolute conduct, and it just basically means obscene. So he was caught pissing in a hallway in Caesar's Palace by a guard and promptly punches the guard. So a second guard comes in, punches the second guard in the throat, no less. So he claims he did nothing wrong. Police say he's under the influence of something. They're not sure what.
Really?
And the funny thing is, this fighter, Anthony Martin, claims racist cops. So I looked up the picture. He's white. So unless the cops were all black, I know you're an expert in racism, but unless the cops were all black, how is this a racist situation? So I don't know how he's claiming racist
confused.
Cops. So
I think he's confused.
He was under the influence of something. So pissing in the hallway, apparently he thinks that's okay. I've been in Caesar's Palace. It's a nice place. You don't want to be pissing in the hallway.
It's awesome. It's pretty awesome.
So we're staying in Vegas. We got John Jones, our old friend John Jones, pleading no contest on 12/16 to lesser charges of misdemeanor destroying of property. This is, of course, when he headbutted the police car and left a dent in the hood in September. How hard is his fucking head that he dented the hood? So he gets no jail time. Once again, this is about the 12th time this guy's had a run-in with the law. $750 fine.
He never gets in trouble in UFC either. So how does
right,
he never
exactly.
get? Yeah, never.
So $750 fine, told to stay out of trouble. I'm like, yeah, good luck on that happening, and also to attend anger management classes. So I don't know how this guy always skates, like you said, not only just in general, but also with his work at UFC. So then we've got Alberto Del Rio, affectionately known. We're insiders. We call him ADR. So the case was dropped on December 10th in San Antonio when the victim, of course, no-showed the case. So this is, of course, the case where he allegedly slapped her, made her put on a dress and dance for him, was going to drop off her son in the middle of the highway, puts a sock in her mouth, assaults her with various objects, but yet the charges get dropped. I'm like, okay, she doesn't show up. They decide, they're going to sweep it under the rug or whatever. But how are no charges filed on this guy? How is that okay? Like, is the woman making all that shit up? Come on.
Well, that's what he's saying. He's saying she's making it all up, blah, blah, blah. And we got Meltzer made a note about all this stuff being dropped in that this piece of shit still gets a contract with Bite Network on a show that he's going to do. And then you got guys like, there's tons of guys.
Marty's girl.
Yeah, one is him, but there is a bunch of other guys that actually had not all these details about them in court, and they had to pull this girl and arrest. I mean, this is a case that he should be under the jail for, okay? But they're still using him, and there's still promotions using him. There's still that kind of is just weird. I don't get that at all. What else do I want to?
Where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I'm going to say with this.
Well,
guy. We've heard stories about him and Paige. I mean,
he said this week that if Paige doesn't shut her mouth, he's going to release all these videos where she was beating him up.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
But they've already had one case where we covered that one. What else was I going to comment on? Oh, the pay. You can pay where you want to, right? I mean, you just pay where you want.
Yeah, of course. Caesar's Palace hallway. Why not? In the
they
casino.
Had to be racist cops.
Do it on the racist cops, even though he's white. So, and
I love the way they.
Go for it.
Well, I always love the way they say someone was under the influence or somebody's crazy. No kidding. No fucking kidding, dude.
So finally, we've got the Rhea Ripley gear situation still going on. The belt that vanished, it appeared briefly online. Apparently somebody was going to try and sell it.
Right.
And then they took it down right away. So the weirdest part out of all of it, it's still out there. The weirdest part out of all of it is that her gear got stolen that weekend too. So she had to borrow pants to work that weekend. She borrows pants from Damian Priest, and they fit her. I'm like, that guy seems huge. How are his pants fitting her? Anyway, that's a weird one. So all I got to say is hopefully Queen Zelina and Carmella take better care of the belts now that they have the tag titles. So that is our overflowing crime blotter at number 8. All right, at number 7, we have a rough month for Sammy and Pammy. You've heard of them, right? Sammy and Pammy.
Hey, whatever you say, do not. What are you going to say about Pam? Don't say that about her.
That she's tippy-toppy. I think she's
you always say she's homely. The first night we saw her, she's homely. Let me say something real quick before we go over this. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but when we first started texting each other about what was going to be the top 10, we said blah, blah, blah about this story, and we both was like, nah, they just broke up. It don't have anything to do with anyone else. Really didn't care, but I thought, and some people are going to think I'm making fun of homely girl, but I'm not. I was actually, I told you in the group that we text with that I thought she was really good looking and I liked it and I liked her. So I figured I just want to get that out. I think Sammy made a bad choice.
She has gone babyface at this point. So it's the rough month for Sammy and Pammy. So December 18th, we have Sammy Guevara announces that the engagement to the lovely Pam, wearing that dress, that homely dress. The engagement is off, and to please respect their privacy during these, trying times. So we were admitting, I know you have to admit that the whole thing was weird when he proposed to her on TV. The weird dress she was wearing, they didn't look they just didn't look like they fit together when the whole angle aired. People were like wondering, is it real? Is it an angle? Is it a work? It seemed real to me. It seemed totally real to me. The biggest problem I had was that the two of them just didn't look like they belonged together, So anyway, so they make the announcement on December 18th, and then the next day, Ty Conti gets looped into this whole damn thing and she kills her social media because the vaunted IWC blames her for the entire breakup because she is separated from her husband, who is a Brazilian.
Guess what?
Well, yeah. So anyway,
blame her for it. And guess what?
Right. So anyway, so her husband, her estranged husband is a MMA fighter, Jorge Conte in Brazil. He's strange, and he's estranged. So anyway, so they're estranged. Ty has been in all of Sammy's, vlogs and videos and shit. So the IWC jumps to conclusions that it's Ty's fault that they're, they split up the engagement. So they say, no, it has nothing to do with it. Ty wants to distance herself from all this blame and stuff. So I thought at the time, I'm like, well, at least they look like they would fit together. So lo and behold, a couple weeks later, there is Sammy and Ty kissing at New Year's at midnight because they are celebrating the beginning of the new year. And so they go on record as they're now together. So I'm like, so was it the IWC was right all along, or has this whole damn controversy brought the two of them together? Because, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy and the two of them are brought together. So now I feel like I owe Pam an apology because she's become the baby face in the whole damn thing. So I don't understand, why do they acknowledge it? Why would they reveal it on New Year's? So
let me tell you.
IWC is correct in the long run on this one.
Big time correct. Yeah. Let me tell you, SG, that's what the insiders call him.
Yeah, that's what we call
Sammy Guevara. Let me tell you, if this lady was going to help you do your wrestling career while you worked at Taco Bell, and that's not being racist, it's the truth. This is the woman that you need to stay with. I'm sorry, you made a big mistake, and I just thought, like you said, she comes out as a total baby face in this. What? It's just
Poor
crazy.
Pam.
Maybe they'll end up doing something with them too in wrestling. I don't know.
It could be like the Lita and Matt Hardy and Edge. They could be bringing Pam in as a character or something.
Well, I don't think they
much like Trent's mother in the minivan. Maybe Pam will become a normal character. So
she'll run over somebody.
A wardrobe upgrade. That's what I recommend. Because now I'm 100% in Pam's corner. I'm a big fan of Pam now. I need Pam merch. Maybe Pro Wrestling Tees can get back on track and introduce some Pam merch. I would order that and not give them my credit card though. I'd pay them in cash.
There you go.
All right, number 6, we got AEW fans behaving badly. So we start December 15th in Long Island for Dynamite. Security at the UBS Arena lets a fan posing as an extra into the locker room. So he has the audacity to sit down in Dax Harwood's chair. And all I could think of is Dax like Archie Bunker, like, get out of my chair. That's my chair. So he's told to move. This idiot is told to move. So he switches to the Blade's chair. So I'm like, all right, on the pecking order, the Blade is lower. So maybe he gets like a folding chair or something. So the wrestlers start questioning this guy. He flubs the questions. MJF and Dax Harwood then throw him out. So I'm hoping that they forcefully threw him out. Hopefully they grabbed him by the belt loop and threw him out the damn locker room. So security, what the fuck? Why are you letting this idiot in the dressing room? Could have been way worse. I mean, if you think about it, it could have been terrible. So,
I want to tell you what I used to do at the Mid-South Coliseum. So you could go through the back and then go into, and I knew the guys. I knew a lot of the boys at the time. So I would park in the back, go through the where the dressing room part was, walk like I'm going to sit in a seat, and then I had security come toward me, and I would take my notebook and just put it in front of me like that. They'd see my notebook, and I'd just walk right, get a seat in Mid-South Coliseum. So that's what I see. He probably showed him his notebook. Lance.
That's what it's documented in All the Right Notes. In fact, here's the book. I want to hold that up. Here's the book, All the Right Notes. Ed, you're a big fan, I know. So in All the Right Notes, I wrote about how you could basically walk into the backstage area of anything holding a clipboard.
Yeah,
you just have to look official. I don't know if it's still like that in 2022.
I got so many shows because of that. Number one, the guys would say, "Hey, how you doing?" And after they talked to me, security would go, and
he must be somebody. Yeah. So, all right, the other fans behaving badly at AEW is 12/22 at the Greensboro Coliseum. A fan gets tossed for holding up the sign, "Nyla Rose is that guy's dad." So I'm like, in the big picture, I mean, is it offensive? Yes. But, I mean, it could be way worse, you know. So Nyla sees the sign. The guy's actually sitting at ringside. The guy, Nyla sees the sign, gives the guy the finger, and then security boots him. So AEW fans, like, starting to act as crazy as some of the, I thought AEW was like Kumbaya Nation, but apparently they're just as bad as some of the other groups, huh?
Oh man, the signs are horrible. I'm so sick of those. And you made a comment. You got a crowd. They just need to watch the matches and not try to
enjoy the show.
Get
Don't
over
part of the show.
Now, I have the humor of South Park, Family Guy, that kind of humor. That's the kind of joke you would have seen on one of those shows. I'm not offended. I thought Nyla Rose did the perfect thing. Fuck you. You know,
give the guy the finger and move on.
But I don't think it should. I don't know about the ejection and being a bit. I mean, they don't eject him for other things. That's the only thing that bothered me. Also, we always know Jim Cornette is behind in the times, and he made a big post saying he compared it to they used to throw people out with physical assault and knife, and now they throw people out for signs because they hurt somebody's feelings. I was like, wait, you don't get what they're doing here at all, Jimmy. But I also, here's my deal about transphobia. If you're transphobic, you're transphobic. I'm not. I don't care. I don't care what you do. That's your own business. I have my own feelings over true athletes competing in sports that they are not male, female. I have a problem with that. This is pro wrestling. We've seen many of people do what Nyla Rose is doing. I just wish Nyla Rose could wrestle. So it's just one of those things, you know. But if you're going to take that sign, you should be taking the other signs. One's about Jim Cornette. One's about all the other signs. Remove all the other ones if you're going to remove that one. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah, where do you draw the line? You know?
Yeah, you can't just say just because that offended someone. And I think if she would have just flipped them off and just went with it, there wouldn't have been a big deal about it. Or he did, you know, she did the exact thing that should have been done. She should have got the microphone and told him to get the fuck out or whatever. That would have been real funny. If it would have been a house show, that's probably what they would have
Somebody
done.
else made the point, too. Why spend so much money to get, like, a front row seat and then chance the ejection? You know, risk the ejection. So
there is a guy who currently is on Twitter who wears panties on his face and gets on an airplane so that they can kick him off. So this man has to buy a ticket for an airplane and pay that so they can kick him off because he won't wear a mask. He'll wear panties. Really so that's what stupid is going on here. Guys, we got a commercial break coming up. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 coming up. And also, at the very end of the countdown,
Stay tuned. We have the 2021 WTF Award coming up, and it's a first-time winner. I'll just tease you with that.
First-time winner. All right. Commercial break, guys. Thank you to our sponsors. All right, back with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Real quick, we got rolling into Memphis this Saturday. We also debut. It's called Shooting Star. It's going to be me and Dustin doing something on Patreon.
Will his hair be there?
His hair will be there. Okay, I will be there. Kind of like we're not going by the storylines or everything. He's going to tell behind the scenes how he got the promotion going, the problems he had. He has a hell of a story about the Boogeyman. If you're a Patreon guy, you'll get it almost a month or girl. We also have Cassette Wrestling News coming out. I don't know. Did you remember that, Lance?
I remember it. I was not a subscriber, but I do remember it.
It was 34 years ago. I've got these cassettes that I'm transferring from cassette to the hard drives, and they've got, I don't know what's on them. That's the thing. I've got 34 cassettes, and I'm not sure what's on them. And I got really lucky. The first episode is going to have Owen Hart, an interview with Owen Hart. It's a shoot interview. It's real interesting the way he thought about different styles of wrestling and everything. But every other week, we're going to come out with an episode. So we got about 2 years of this stuff of Cassette Wrestling News. And then I got some new buddies. We actually, the Patreons already listened to one of their first episodes. Scott and Andrew, they do newsstands versus newsletters, which is going to be a new they're going to be content providers like we are for Memphis Wrestling. They're going to be it for me and you, Lance. So I'm excited about it. Some new stuff. If you are not a Patreon member, do it. Bitches, do it. It's $5.
$5. Come on. That's less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Come on.
Tons of stuff. And real quick, we got a new we're supporting a new product here, Athletic Brewing Company. I know you don't drink a lot, but you do. I like the taste of beer, but I don't like the alcohol. I haven't tasted alcohol in since 1991. So the beer, it's a brew. It's non-alcoholic. It's really good. If you go to the link, it's tiny.1/STSPOD 2022. If you buy a 6-pack, you get a 6-pack for free with that link. And you can drink it with – that's the main thing with me. I love it with pizza, steak, tacos. I like my beer, but I don't want to be drunk. So, hey, guys, go for it. It's really good. And we do a big giveaway on Patreon. And starting
in the odd months. It's the
odd months, right? January. That's this month. There will be a free beer in it.
And I prefer the taste of the Spunk Lube myself, but that's a whole different story.
No, come on, man. So we go. Hey, can we edit that out? I talk like we got a producer. We got real big. We got producers. Man.
Yeah, producers. So all right, back to the list. So we're at 5, which is social media upward time. It is time for Smut. So we got Eddie Kingston, Cesaro, Pro Wrestling Tees. This is a rarity. Freddie Prinze Jr. and Holy Shida. So we got Eddie Kingston versus Cesaro on December 10th. You know, we know Eddie Kingston doesn't like CM Punk. That added to the reality of that match that they had and that little mini feud that they had. But Eddie Kingston goes on record December 10th saying he does not like Cesaro either. He refers to him as the big Swiss idiot in WWE. I don't like him. I don't respect him. So they did work together over 10 years ago. So apparently there's still bad blood. So Eddie Kingston laying down the law, the big Swiss idiot in WWE. So Pro Wrestling Tees, this was an interesting case. So they catch heat online from the IWC because their website got hacked and the customer's data got breached, and they don't bother announcing it. So they took a lot of heat because they were accused of keeping the whole thing quiet so that they didn't jeopardize their critical, holiday December sales. So December 21st, it finally gets out. That, as far as I can remember, that's the first time the T-shirt company has ever had to withstand any kind of negativity from the neckbeards. Do you remember? I mean, have they ever?
They did. There's something going on right now with another company, and I can't tell you the name of the company. I did write it down, but there's some kind of me, I just thought it was a beef going on. It wasn't nothing serious. But after seeing this, they had said that some people coming from the Chicago office there was going to be on a podcast and tell all the things that go on at the office.
Like Pro Wrestling Tees?
Yeah, like they have some big expose coming out or something. So that'd be interesting.
Some kind of dungeon with beatings going on.
Not that we got any friends working there. Or
yeah, we don't know anybody that works there. So, all right. Then we got former WWE writer Freddie Prinze Jr. on December 6th reveals on his podcast. Now, why the fuck does Freddie Prinze Jr. have a podcast? I mean, is he talking about his dad or like Scooby-Doo or what? But anyway, he reveals on his podcast about a promo class that Vince telling Sheamus and Wade Barrett to bark like dogs at each other. So it's a really uncomfortable situation. Nobody knows what to make of it. So Wade Barrett starts growling, and Vince gets pissed and says, not actual dogs, for fuck's sake. And he storms out, canceling the promo class. So I can just see this whole thing taking place because you don't know if Vince is serious or not. He's got the weird requests. He wants them to bark like dogs, and they're like about to start barking like dogs at each other. So very awkward situation. So,
I love this story. Love the story of them just standing there going,
they don't know what to do.
Do you want me to bark like a dog?
So, all right. Then finally, speaking of barking like a dog, we got Hikaru Shida does training in December on a stripper pole and posts it on Twitter. So I think there may be a language barrier thing here because she's wearing a robe, wearing like her underwear in a robe. And she's doing her cardio on a stripper pole. So I may or may not have watched it about 1,000 times. I don't know. But they play her entrance music and she does this dance on a stripper pole. So I got to say, she had nice form on the stripper pole. So good for you, Sheeta. Holy Sheeta. That's what I'll say. Shout out to Tom Reese on that one.
I gave her 7.5. That's all I could give her right now. I mean, she needs to work. She's working at it, y'all. She's working at it. So,
that is a 10-star performance for sure.
And all right. You know, I'm not a huge Sheeta fan when it comes to, because I don't know, it just looks too young to me. But I thought it was hilarious. And like you, I think I said it earlier about the Japanese culture. I feel like sometimes some of this stuff just gets way like, oh no, would somebody please tell her she really probably shouldn't have done that? But hey,
at least she wasn't at that pool in Japan, Tokyo. She wasn't
get
at
you
the
a Patreon
pool.
site. We'll let Lance subscribe to that.
We got Holy Sheeta on OnlyFans. So, all right, at number 4, we got Hannibal and the Ref. So, December 11th in Irving, Texas, it's world-class pro wrestling. So, the infamous Devin Nicholson, that's the guy who beat Abdullah the Butcher in court on the Hep C charges, stabs referee Lando Del Toro numerous times in the head, jamming him in the head with an iron stake in an angle after losing his match. So the ref had been paid $75 for this. Del Toro had agreed to the angle, but he says Nicholson went way too far. He required numerous staples to close the wounds in his head. So WCPW bans Nicholson. This is the guy who's known as Hannibal. So Hannibal says the ref agreed to the angle. He didn't see anything wrong with it as it was happening. So the company, of course, has no insurance. The ref agreed to it. Del Toro asks Hannibal for $200 expenses, but a GoFundMe is started for the guy, raises $10,000 for the medical costs. So the fallout has really been hitting the fan. Miz, of all people, says Hannibal needs to be banned. Will Ospreay says the charges need to be filed. Jordan Grace says Del Toro should also press charges. So Hannibal says he didn't think he cut him, but he thought Del Toro bladed. But if you see the pictures, man, the guy's head is just carved up. It is disgusting. So this Hannibal, a.k.a. Devin Nicholson, took a hell of a beating in December.
Just piece of trash. Just piece of shit, piece of trash, whatever you want to call him. This guy, let me tell you, when you're in the wrestling business and you're in the ring with somebody, it's all about trust. And it is majorly, if you're doing anything like a blade or anything like that, it is all about you put your life in. Same thing with what New Jack did. This Hannibal guy is quite a character. He actually was on there. I think this is his second or third appearance. We talked about some videos that he's put up last time. But you know, I saw the cuts on the guy's head. It was not a work. It was not. No. There's a difference between blading and bleeding a gusher. Go watch some Tommy Rich videos. He cuts his head, and it's just a little bitty cut. It's a small cut, and he bleeds like a pig. This guy was cut many times. What's really strange about all this, and Meltzer covered it a little bit, is some of the old-timers, like Kevin Sullivan, are trying to just cover it up and tell them, don't go to the cops. Don't tell anybody about this. Yeah. That's just part of the business. It's just part of the business. That's horseshit.
It's called taking liberties, I believe.
Oh, very much so. And it's not trusting anybody about anything. I've been around.
Well, the guy was paid $75. I mean, come on. What else do you want? You know? So you might as well split his skull open and pull his brain out. So. Anyway, all right. Number 3, we'll off to a better subject here. Number 3, the IWC drops trial for Hook in December. Hook. I know you got some thoughts here. So after months of doing nothing but hanging around, Taz's son Hook finally does a 3-minute match on Rampage on December 10th. And there is ridiculous support for this guy. Bad hair, can't talk. We've seen 5 minutes of the guy in the ring, and yet everybody is losing their shit over this goof. Over the top support for Hook. So I've seen nothing based on nothing. So the kid brings, I mean, there's potential. I'll give you that. There's potential there. He's young. But I mean, honestly, at this point, Dante Martin and Braun Breaker bring so much more to the table than this kid. So, and I love the way they say Team Taz has another assassin. So I just say silly fans. So what are your thoughts on young Hook?
You know, I have a when it comes to booking somebody, if they're booked correctly, and we talked about this, texting each other about the story of something and how it's booked and everything, and it could be a big story in the future. But here's a guy who he really don't even need to be on television yet.
Yeah.
And it's not him. I mean, they pushed him up there. They've given him the opportunity. I thought he improved tons from match 1 to match 2. I thought, man, he looks a lot better. But hell, this is like his second match, and he trained. He didn't train a lot. Here's the deal. Me and you sometimes don't get it when it comes to someone getting over with the fans because we don't get it. And I think that's where it is here. I don't think he appeals to me and you. Me and you came up with a hell of a story. I did, and you was like, man, that's what we want. That's what we want. The story was this young punk kid's around the ring all the time with his daddy, and then he starts interfering, and someone gets their hands on him and beats the hell out of him.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted to see, but they have twisted it around where he's taking, finishers from these big, huge guys that just popping up. He's not fucking Sting. So that's the part that bothers me. I also say if they can get him over, it's the same way with Enzo and Kaz. If they can get over and the fans like them, so be it. I'm not going to be a fan. I can't be right now. I was a huge Taz fan. Love the idea that Taz has got his son in there. But, give me about 5 years and I might like him. He needs to gain some weight. He seems to have some skills. We know you don't have to be big to be tough. We know that. There's a lot of tough MMA fighters, but he's not ready right now. He should not. Same thing with the Anderson kid. Those two should never be on television, and that's one of the things we would never see happen in the WWE. But we're seeing happen here. And like you said, the Steiner kid is 10 times what Hook is.
Yeah.
And no one, it's like, it's just really weird. It was
put
real
him on
weird.
Dark. Put him on Dark. That's you got all these other YouTube shows. Put him on there. He's not ready for prime time. I like I said, in watching that first match, it was not an embarrassment. He didn't suck, but he's not ready. I mean, all these hipster fans that are like all behind him. I'm like, based on what? Based on what? You got the hot.
I don't get it, but we may,
hair.
We might be man. You don't have a lot of room to talk about anyone's hair, dude. Come on.
But like you just said, Braun Breaker is the guy that he's a
fucking stud.
Yeah, that guy's ready to go. He is ready for TV. So anyway, all right. At number 2, you can show us the visual aid now. We got Dwight Schrute. Dwight Schrute wants Sting. There he is, Dwight Schrute. So we got actor Rainn Wilson. This, I got to tell you, this is the epitome of the WTF News Desk, because this is like, what in the fuck is this story and where did this come from? So Rainn Wilson, the actor from The Office who played Dwight Schrute, on Christmas Day calls out Sting for a match. I'm like, what? Where did this come from? So he tweets, he will someday wrestle Sting and he will win. He mark my words, he will win. So I have no idea where this came from. Sting replies a day or two later. Sting says he may have to use a flying toe hold on Rainn Wilson. So I have no idea where it came from. No idea where it's going. Is this going to be some kind of celebrity angle at Double or Nothing or something? So Dwight Schrute wants to fight Sting. So what do you think of that?
If he would wear that gimmick and fight Sting, I'd pay money. I'm a huge Office fan, and by the way, I've already wrote down my next visit to Chicago. Has all these eating places I want to go to, restaurants, because we watch Food Network, but they also have an Office thing there. You can walk in and it's like the set of The Office. So I want to do that. Huge fan, but I really don't want to see Rainn Wilson, who I really think I've seen him in some stuff after The Office. I think he's one of my favorite characters in comedy of all time. George Costanza is my favorite comedy character of all time, but Dwight is one of them too. And I think maybe we were smoking something or drinking something on Christmas, and we started talking about wrestling, and just, I don't know. He's a strange guy, so that might be it too. But it'd be funny to see him dressed up as Dwight wrestling. So
it could be like Karl Malone and Jay Leno doing pay-per-view matches. Back
yeah,
in the
remember
day.
that? Yeah, that happened too. So it is a what the fuck, but it is.
Yeah.
It's more of what the fuck. Where did this come from?
Yeah, where did it all start? So, all right, we're at number one. The number one bizarre story for the month of December. Jack Evans, secret agent man. So AEW Hybrid 2 member Jack Evans announces in December that he is being extorted by 2 Mexican police officers in Mexico City. He says that in 4 days, he's already paid them 7,000 pesos, which is $350. He's paying no more. He's done with this. He says if he gets arrested on drug charges anytime soon, it will be because these 2 crooked cops planted drugs on him. Not at all that Jack Evans could possibly have drugs on him. Right, exactly. No. There's no truth to that. So he says he's filed an official complaint against the Della Valley Police Department in Mexico. So I'm thinking maybe did Orange Cassidy bonk him on the head when he was cutting his hair with those shears when he cut off like 3 strands of hair? So, or is Jack Evans just on mushrooms altogether? So just the weirdest fucking story. Jack Evans being extorted by Mexican police. That's right.
Yeah, they said, someone said in the Twitter post that police department didn't even exist. So this may be another case of we're smoking too much weed. Or here's the thing about Jack Evans. If anyone wants to think about somebody that probably needs it for municipal use, would be a guy who's high flyer for how many years that he can barely probably walk. So when it comes to weed, it wouldn't be a big deal. But he don't say anything about what drug it is. It reminds me of someone being just so fucking high that they start making shit up. They're like, I think the police came over here. I think they came over here. And if you watch, I watch some stuff where people were trying to rehab, and they'll start looking out the window and going, man, here comes somebody. And there will be nobody out there. So that's what it really thought. We haven't heard anything else about it. Did he take all the tweets down? I don't know if he took them down. I have
not heard anything about it. Or we haven't heard about him pissing in any hallways either. So he may be under the influence of something if we hear about him pissing in hallways too, so we're not sure. In Daly's place.
Yeah, man. Jack, I'm just not a fan of his, and just
I'm a fan of his in the ring. I mean, he does great spots and great stunt work and stuff, but he's just a weird dude. So all right, so we have the WTF-inator. We have to make the official announcement. So basically what that is we compile all the news stories for the entire year. So for 2021, we check off who had the most mentions in all the weird news stories. So some people that have won in the past, we've had Joey Ryan has won in the past. Jim Cornette has won in the past. Conor McGregor and John Jones, I'm pretty sure they've won in the past too. But this year we have a first-time winner, and it was a she, no less. She just barely squeaked out over Drake Wirtz. He was another many-time appearance in 2021. But our first female winner with 4 mentions throughout the year is Charlotte Flair.
Oh, wow. What was her what the fucks for 4?
So we had 4 mentions. So she had not 1 but 2 in April. So in April, she missed WrestleMania because she may or may not have been pregnant. She also had COVID in April. Andrade was released in April. She had the nip slip on Raw that apparently I was the only person who saw it when the referee fixed her boob on Raw on live TV, fixed her gear. So numerous mentions in April. Then in May, she liked the Gal Gadot Israeli tweet, and she almost got canceled because she took so much heat in May of this year. And then finally in October, she did the whole belt dropping incident where she made Sonya and Becky look like idiots because she dropped the belt on the ground when they were doing the whole stupid switching of the belts from the Raw and the SmackDown belts.
Right.
So essentially 4 mentions throughout the year. So again, Drake Wirtz and Conor McGregor were the runners up for this year. But our first congratulations to our first female winner, Charlotte Flair, for all the mentions in the WTF News Desk throughout 2021.
Congratulations. What the fuckinator of 2021. Maybe in post-production I'll put some drum roll or some cool music behind it. All right, guys, if you are a Patreon member, you will stick around for honorable mentions, only $5 a month.
Dishonorable.
We kind of what do we get relaxed?
It's free flowing. There's no
free flowing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Because, we have such a strict format during the main show,
All right, guys. Same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the minute. Be there. And as everybody knows, I love my mama.
And as everybody
Lance
knows,
loves Spunk Loop.
I do. I drink it by the gallon. As everybody knows, I have fun everywhere I go.
Supposed to drink it. God.
And it's a brand new year, so I'm going to go a whole lot of places.
Whole lot of places.
Yep. Mama's place.